Hi students, welcome back to Wisdom Academy YouTube channel. In this video, we are going to start the new chapter, and the chapter name is Human Eye and the Colorful World. In this chapter, you will be learning about what is an eye, what are the functions of the eye, what are the defects of the eye. You will learn about the prism and the dispersions of the prism. Then you will learn about some concepts of atmospheric refraction and its application. So, I will start the chapter with the first topic of this chapter, which is human eye. So, how an eye looks and why eye is important. So, we know that out of all our human body, eye is the part from which you can see. So, eye helps in seeing the objects nearby us. Now, how this eye is made up of, what it is made up of, and what are the different parts of the eye, we are going to show in this video. So, here I have drawn the cross section of the eye for you, in which there are different parts. So, this is the first part, which is called as cornea. Now, what is cornea? Cornea is the transparent outer medium of the light through which the light enters first inside the eye lens. So, before entering the before the light enters into our eye, first it interacts with our cornea, right? This is the cornea. It is a transparent surface present at the outside of the eyeball. Second surface is this thing, which is called as iris. So, iris are the muscles which control the amount of light coming to our eyes, and this small opening you can see, this is called as pupil. So, pupil is the portion from where the light enters. Actually, iris is the part of the eye which gives color to the eye. So, you would have seen some people having bluish eye, some people have brownish eye, they will say the person has black eye. That color of the eye is actually a factor of iris. So, if I draw it in the front, then it is something like this. So, suppose this is the eye and this is the black part of the eye, and here you can see there is a center black dot, and you can see there is something like this. This part is called as iris and this part is called as pupil. So, pupil is from where the light enters into our eye, and this you would have seen that this pupil sometimes contracts and sometimes becomes less. So, who contracts and makes it less? Iris makes that contraction. So, iris controls the amount of light entering into the pupil. So, how much light will enter into the pupil, that will be controlled by the iris. This portion is known as crystalline lens. It is called as crystalline lens, where the light enters and gets refracted and enters inside this. One more thing, between this pupil and this cornea, there is a fluid present here, and this fluid is called as aqueous humor. It is called as aqueous humor. So, aqueous humor is the liquid which is present between the cornea and the iris. This liquid is responsible for maintaining the pressure of the eye, and it is jelly like liquid which helps us to give nourishment to the eye, because there is no blood present in the eye. So, that part, the carrying of nutrients part, is done by this aqueous humor. After that, we can see there are some muscles drawn here, and these muscles are called as vitreous humor. They are called as vitreous humor. Sorry, I am sorry. This is called as ciliary muscles. This is called as ciliary muscles. So, ciliary muscles are the muscles which hold the eye lens, which hold the crystalline lens. So, lens, you have learned in the previous chapter about the convex lens. This lens is a biconvex lens. It is a biconvex lens. So, biconvex lens, how much lens will be elongated or compressed is controlled by ciliary muscles. Now, you may ask me why we need to compress or why we need to elongate this eyeball. We may need to elongate because to change the focus of the eye. Something is present near to the eye, then the focus what the eye will have will be different. Something you are seeing very far, that time the focus will be different, because something is very far, then your eye should have a higher focal length, like this. This will have a higher focal length, but something is very near, you should have a lesser focal length. See, this has more curvature, so this will have a lesser focal length. Focus will be somewhere here inside itself. So, if the eye lens is thinner, I will have a longer focal length, and if the eye lens is thicker, I will have a shorter focal length. to read something near to our eyes, you would have seen that we are doing like this, stressing our eyes. Why we do that? We adjust our ciliary muscles. These ciliary muscles will press our eye lens and make it easy for us to see we read the things present in front of us, right? And when you are looking something very far, our eyes will be in relaxed state where the focal length will be very far. It's actually far focal length is infinite for our human eye. Then this liquid present here is called as vitreous humor. What I wrote that time, it is vitreous humor. This is the part which gives shape to our eyes. So this is again jelly like liquid present here, which helps us to maintain the shape of our eyes. So eye should be in a spherical shape. That shape is maintained by our vitreous humor. And in the back of the eye, this is called as retina. Retina is that membrane on which the image is formed. So whatever light ray is entering and it is forming an image, all the image will be formed on the retina only. So retina is the part of the eye or membrane where the image is formed. This retina is connected to our brain through something called as optic nerve. This is called as optic nerve. So optic nerve is the nerve which connects our eye with the brain. I hope you know that whatever image is forming in our eye is a real image. When the image is a real image, obviously it will be inverted, because we know that real images are always inverted. Now suppose the image formed in our retina is inverted, then how we are seeing it straight? Suppose I am seeing you and I am seeing you are erect. How I am doing that? Because this optic nerve sends signals to our eye, and there it again reverses the direction and shows to you a clear image. So remember that this optic nerve is one which connects our eye to the brain, and the brain processes the image what we are seeing and makes it to see straight. Otherwise it is an inverted image. So whatever you are seeing here, actually on retina it forms inverted. Then again the signal is sent there and it becomes straight. We have some light sensitive cells on the retina that are called as rods and cones. Rods and cones. So rods and cones are the light sensitive cells which are responsible for bright light or dim light. So rods are responsible for the bright lights and cones are responsible for the dim light. Rods are also responsible for the color. So identifying the color is done by the rod. So if you have less number of rods in your eyes, you may have color blindness. So these are the light sensitive cells present in our eyes. These are the various different parts of our eye. I will just repeat once again. This is cornea, which is the outer transparent medium in our eye through which the light enters into our eye. Second is iris, which gives the colors to the eye. It supports and controls the size of the pupil. Pupil is where the light enters into our eye lens. Crystalline lens is that part of the eye which is a biconvex lens from where the light enters and refracts and the image is formed. Then we have aqueous humor present between the cornea and the pupil. This liquid helps us to maintain the pressure on the eye. It also helps to provide nourishment to our eyes. Then we have ciliary muscles. These muscles control the bulging or the elongation of the lens. So it will control our size of the lens so that the focus of the lens changes with the requirement. Then we have something called as vitreous humor. Vitreous humor is the liquid present after the lens till the retina, which gives the shape to our eyes. Then we have retina, where the image is formed. The image formed on the retina is an inverted image, and it has light sensitive cells, rods and cones. Rods control the bright light and cones are responsible for seeing the dim light. Then we have optic nerve, which is the nerve connecting our eyes to the brain. So now when you know about the eye and its part, you should know that what is the near point and the far point of a normal eye. So for a normal eye, the far point means up to what distance you can see. Generally for a normal eye, far point is taken as infinite. So far point of a normal eye I am talking about. So normal eye, the far point is taken as infinite, because till infinite you can see. You see the sky, you can see till the end. You see far, you can see till the end. Till where the objects are there, you can see there. And near point. So when something comes near to you, then if it comes too near, you will not be able to read it. You can try it now itself. Take some notebook in your hand and try to bring it closer. Up to certain distance you can see. As it starts becoming closer, it will start getting blurred and will start straining your eyes. That near point of a normal eye is 25 centimeter. 25 centimeter It is also called as capital D, that is least distance of distinct vision. Least distance of distinct vision. Distinct vision. So that means if you bring something near to your eyes for reading, up to 25 centimeter you can see it very clearly. The moment it starts coming less than 1 centimeter, like 20 or 15 centimeter, it will start getting blurred, it will start straining your eyes. Don't do that, it will affect your eyes also, right? So these are the near point and far point of a normal eye. But sometimes you see people wearing spectacles due to some issues. There it may be birth defect, or it may be because of the habits, like they see too much of TV or too much of screen, their eye gets distorted. So what happens when your near point or your far point of the eye is getting changed by any factor, then you may get some defects in the eye. So majorly we will talk about three defects today. That will be myopia, hypermetropia and presbyopia. So major defects, we also have cataract and astigmatism. I will talk about that at the end, but majorly we will talk about myopia, hypermetropia and presbyopia. So we will start one by one. Let us start with myopia. So the first defect which I am going to talk today is about myopia. So myopia is also known as short-sightedness, short or near, whatever you want to say, short-sightedness or near-sightedness. So usually students gets confused in this. They think, oh, they are not able to see short distances clearly, but it's not like that. It is, they are able to see the near distance clearly, but they are not able to see the far distances, far objects clearly. So near sightedness means they have good sight of near vision and they don't have a good sight of far things, right? So near sightedness or myopia is a disorder, is a defect of eye in which you are able to see the nearby things clearly, but the far objects are not clear to you. The question is why it happens, why a person suffers from myopia. To understand it, I will draw a very simple diagram. So let me draw a basic diagram of eye, and we know that this is the retina where the image is formed. Let us see, infinite some rays are coming. Now suppose these rays are getting, here our eye lens is there inside, crystalline lens, are getting refracted and they are meeting at this point itself, then you will not be able to see the image properly, because image has to form on the retina for making the optic nerve to send the signal to our brain. But the image forms before the retina itself. This kind of disorder leads to myopia. So what is happening? Your far point of the eye gets affected. How? By making the image before retina itself. So image which has to be formed on the retina, if it forms before retina, that disorder is called as myopia. Why it happens? It happens because of two reasons. One reason is due to high converging power of the eye lens. Due to high converging power of eye lens. So what happens? Your eye lens may have very high converging power. Being very high converging power, though it has to converge somewhere here, it converges before itself. So if converging power of the lens becomes suddenly very high, or if your eyeball becomes too long, this also is possible. That eyeball, it became too long. So if an eyeball should have been of this size, it became little extra size, your image will start forming before retina itself. So these two are the causes for myopia. So if they ask in examination what are the causes of myopia, one cause can be due to high converging power of eye lens, second cause can be due to the eyeball becoming too long. So this is how myopia is happening in the human eye. Let us see how we correct this. So myopia, which has led to the rays intersect and meet before the retina itself, how can we correct this defect? We can correct by placing a lens before it. What kind of lens? Let us see. So what I do, in the same eye where the image was forming here itself, what I am going to do, I am going to put a concave lens here. So, the moment I put a concave lens, we know our eye is having biconvex lens. So, the moment I am putting concave lens, the ray which is coming here, which was supposed to go straight, due to this thing it get little converged, sorry, little diverged. So, getting little diverged, and now it is getting converged, it may converge to the appropriate point. So, taking a suitable concave lens, all eyes will not have same power of concave lens. Someone will have different focal length, someone will have different focal length. So, first, say if you have gone to the eye doctor, eye specialist, when you have some problem in vision, first what they will do, they will make you to see somewhere. In olden days, they used to show us somewhere far, then they used to take us in a machine and see in some kind of machine inside. By that they will say, is it visible, is it not? So, by that they will try to find out the focus of your eye. So, what they will do, they will try to find how much early it is being formed, and based upon that they will give you a suitable power of lens. So, suitable power of lens is given, power of concave lens is given, which will diverge the lens initially, rays initially, and then it will converge by the concave convex lens of our eye, and the image will form at the suitable position. So, what is the correction for myopic eye? The correction for myopic eye is using concave lens. So, by using concave lens, we can correct myopic disorder or nearsightedness. How? It will diverge the light initially, and then finally it will converge to form the image at the proper position. So, you have seen in a myopic eye, the far point of the eye gets affected. How it happens? Due to either the eyeball being very long, or the converging power of the lens is too high, right? Now, we will see the second disorder, second defect, that is called as hypermetropia. It is called as far sightedness. So, now you can say me, you can itself understand and say me that the eye will have a good vision of far, but less vision of near. So, the near point will get affected in the hypermetropic eye. So, the person is able to see far things very good, very well, but the near things is unclear to him. Now, why this happens? It happens because of, again, two reasons. So, you can also say the reasons. So, let us see, there is a eye, a cross section of eye I am drawing, and the rays coming from near, this is our convex lens, rays coming from near like this, they are meeting behind. So, it was supposed to meet on the retina, but not meeting on the retina, it goes somewhere behind and meets. So, how it can happen? It will happen due to two reasons. First thing, converging power of eye lens is low, or it may be possible because of the shortening of eyeball, shortening of eyeball. So, eyeball has become short. So, either the eyeball has become small, or the rays, the converging power of the eye is very less. It is not converging, like the eye is converging, it is not converging on the place, it is little less and converging in the back side. So, in this kind of situation, you will get a disease called as hypermetropia. How it will be corrected? It will be corrected. Let us see how it will be corrected. So, I will keep a convex lens in front of it. So, ray which is coming, it will first get little converged and further it will get converged. So, it will meet at the retina. So, how you can correct the hypermetropic eye? The correction is by use of convex lens. So, convex lens will make your rays coming from near point to converge before, and again it gets converged by the eye lens, and finally the image is formed at the retina. So, hypermetropia is a disorder in which you are not able to see the near things clearly. How we correct it? We correct it by using convex lens. Fine. After this, third disorder was presbyopia. Presbyopia is very similar to hypermetropia, but presbyopia is seen in older people. So, what happens when because of age, when you grow old, your ciliary muscles become very weak. When the ciliary muscles become weak, it will not be able to converge or diverge, or I should say it will not be able to press or elongate the eye lens. So what will happen? Your near point of the eyes get affected. So many people would have seen that they are reading the things keeping little far because near point has got affected for them. You don't have 5 centimeter. So for seeing, they are keeping little far and reading. Why? Because their near point got affected. Why it got affected? Because of the weakening of ciliary muscles. So ciliary muscles becoming weak is the reason for presbyopia, and same correction. The correction for presbyopia is also using convex lens. So if you use convex lens, then presbyopia can be corrected. We also use bifocal lens. So why bifocal lens is used? Usually in presbyopic condition, a person may even have both the errors, hypermetropia and myopia. So already he was not able to see the far things properly. Now he is not able to see the near things properly also. So he may need to use sometimes concave, sometimes convex. So he will use spectacles. You would have seen your tatas, your grandpeople are using, in which above the lens will be different and below lens will be different. So this kind of lens where we have one concave, one convex is known as bifocal lens. So bifocal lens is used for the people having both myopic condition and hypermetropic condition. This is about presbyopia. Apart from presbyopia, we also have disease called as astigmatism and cataract. So astigmatism is a disease in which you will not be able to distinguish between the horizontal lines and the vertical lines. And cataract is a disorder in which you will have a formation of cloudy membrane over your eyes, which will slowly reduce your vision. It may lead to total loss of vision also. So what you should do, you should go and operate your eyes for that and remove that membrane what forms in front of your eye. In that way, you can clear the cataract disorder. So in today's session, what we learned? We learned about the human eye, we learned about the parts of eye, and then we learned the defects of eye, which were myopia, hypermetropia and presbyopia. I also told about astigmatism and cataract. So with this, I am ending today's session. Please like the video, subscribe our channel and comment in the comment section. Thank you very much.